إذا نبدأ الآن الفيلم. كما نراه الطقس هناك ثلج يسقط، وهذا شيء غريب. ظننت أنني سوف في بالي باش نمشي أنا زعما نتريض شوي. يا أخي هاي الثلج هبط في لحظة، في ساعة من زمان. ثلج غير عادي. الصباط يتزلق على كلية الحال. هذا فين نسكن، ها الابارتمون. الشارع هذا قدامنا. غريب الطقس، ثلج هبوط قوي ياسر. ثلج ياسر أكثر من اللازم. في لحظة تعبت الكرام بالثلج غير عادي. هذا الشارع المسكن فيه هنا، ها كما تشوف الثلج هابط هبوط غزير غير عادي. هذيك الكهرباء متاعي مركاها غالي، لازمني نشق الثلج. امتنا لك سيدنا لك ذلك. هذه الكهرباء متاعينا كما تشوف. اللحظة كان مغطية بالثلج. لازمني ننظف البولار باش نمشي نلعب الرياضة. شفت كيفاش لهنا الدنيا ما تحبسش كي الدنيا تثلج، الناس تمشي تخدم على رواح. هذه الكهرباء متاعي. نعم، اللي يحب يعرف يحلوها تتحل منه. كبوت هناك. هذا كان الموتور متاعها. الرادياتور بزوز مراوح. الثلج تيحشم عاد ما بلدك. الكهرباء من الداخل نشوفه. الدفاع الداخل في وسط الكهرباء مغطية بالثلج، ما تشوف شيء البر.
Airways and American Airlines merged. Comcast bought up NBC Universal. Warren Buffett teamed up with a Brazilian firm to buy the Heinz Company. And Michael Dell helped take the public company that bears his name private. More on that in a few minutes. First to today's deal in the world of office supplies. Office Depot and Office Max are planning to merge. NPR's Yuki Noguchi has more on that.
The two companies would have over 2,500 stores worldwide, nearly 70,000 employees, and about $18 billion in sales. Ravi Salagram, the CEO of OfficeMax, said joining forces was necessary for the two to be on stronger financial and strategic footing.
This combination will create a stronger, more global, efficient competitor, able to meet the growing challenges of a rapidly changing industry.
Both companies' sales have been declining, and they say consolidating sales, distribution, advertising, and employees will save $400 to $600 million annually. But regulatory approval remains an open question. Office Depot once tried to merge with another firm, Staples, back in 1997. The Federal Trade Commission challenged the deal in court and won. But as Office Depot CEO Neil Austrian noted in a conference call, the market has changed a great deal since then.
The internet changed everything, and I think all you had to do in 97 was walk into Walmart, and they may have had 100 to 200 square feet of office supplies, and today they've got thousands of square feet of office supplies.
Online rivals like Amazon have also grabbed substantial market share, as have big warehouse stores like Costco. Plus, a merged Office Depot and Office Max would still be smaller than the industry leader, Staples, which is why BB&T Capital Markets Managing Director Anthony Chukumba says he doesn't think regulators will stop this deal.
I'm not terribly concerned about this deal passing muster with the FTC. While the FTC did strike down the Staples Office Depot deal in 1997, the competitive landscape has changed dramatically since that time.
Chukumba says brick and mortar office supply retailers have a very stable business, from small to large business clients who want one-stop shops that can deliver supplies quickly in a single delivery. Office Depot and Office Max said they will continue to compete as rivals until the deal closes, which they expect to happen by the end of the year. An executive search firm will name the new head of the company, and the new company's name and brand will be determined after the deal closes. Yuki Noguchi, NPR News, Washington.
Two of this month's mega deals, including Dell, involve something that might sound counterintuitive. They're going private. So why would a company want to leave Wall Street and the wealth and prominence it can bring? NPR's Dan Bobkoff has some answers.
For Dell, the computer industry has changed dramatically. We now buy sleek tablets and use cloud computing. Dell needs to change its business. But when you're a company traded on Wall Street, change can be hard. Stephen Davidoff is a law professor at The Ohio State University.
Because you have shareholders that sometimes have short-term interests. They're not looking to hold their shares for years. They often sell on fear.
Going private can take away that short-term pressure from shareholders who want results now. Dell's founder, Michael Dell, suggested as much, saying the deal will help the company continue its long-term strategy. Kevin Callahan is managing director at Berkshire Partners, a private equity firm in Boston. He's helped a handful of companies go private over the years. When a company needs radical change, he says it can be easier out of the public eye.
Which might mean that they forego some sales for a few quarters or a couple of years. It might mean they have to exit certain businesses they're in.
But he says it's not just struggling companies that opt to leave Wall Street. For some, it just doesn't make sense to be publicly traded. It's a lot of work to comply with rules and requirements. If a business is not growing much, the markets might not give it much attention. Its management might think it's worth more than investors give it credit for. At that point, they might come to a private equity guy like Callahan and say, hey, I'm thinking of going private.
It's a decision that companies take very, very seriously and very, very rarely, I would say.
Callahan says for founders and management trying to buy back the company, there's also the risk of other bidders' counteroffers.
The people who initiated the process to take the business private can have their offer topped. They can lose control of the process.
There are other risks, too. Jeffrey Pfeffer, a professor of organizational behavior at Stanford Business School, says management and founders sometimes overestimate their ability to turn things around.
A lot of this is associated with hubris or pride. You think you know better. You think you're smarter than the world.
But wise or not, expect more companies to follow Dell and Heinz down the path of private ownership. Before the Great Recession, about a quarter of deals were so-called leveraged buyouts that took companies private. In recent years, that number has been about 10%. Stefan Seelig is Executive Vice President at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. He's been involved in most of the high-profile deals of late.
February has been the biggest month in a long time.
The start of this year has seen a 144% increase in the number of U.S. mergers and acquisitions versus the same period last year, according to Deal Logic. Seelig says what's fueling all these deals is plentiful capital, low interest rates, and pent-up demand. But investors still have to like the terms. Some of them think Dell is worth more than the offer on the table. Likewise, some wonder why Heinz didn't look for other suitors. To get off Wall Street, you still need Wall Street's approval. Dan Bobkoff, NPR News, New York.
If you win a Nobel Prize, you take home just over $1 million. Well, today it was announced that 11 scientists have each won nearly triple that, $3 million. They're the first winners of a new prize created by a who's who of Silicon Valley billionaires. The Breakthrough Prize in Life Sciences was created to reward excellence in research to cure diseases and extend life. The founding sponsors include Google co-founder Sergey Brin, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, and venture capitalist Yuri Milner. Milner has said he was motivated by illness within his own family and encouraged the others to contribute. The scientists who won say it came as a real surprise.
I was stunned. It was almost disbelief. First of all, I think I didn't know that this prize existed.
That's UC San Diego cancer researcher Napoleon Ferrara. Corey Bargman of Rockefeller University, who studies the genetics of neural circuits, thought at first it was a practical joke or a version of the Nigerian scam. When she realized the $3 million in prize money was real, she was elated.
As a scientist, the work